Uh, I want to quickly talk about or debunk a myth that there are some places whereby some people believe that a female person cannot talked about or divine or do wrongly geomancy. Some people believe that geomancy is not for a female person, and because of that, some women or female person who are interested in geomancy find a ways to deviate or get away from it. So that is basically what I want to discuss here. If a female person can actually practice geomancy. And one of the reasons why I want to debunk this particular myth is because long time ago, before I even started learning geomancy or before I even start knowing about geomancy very well, I used to think that until somebody understand Arabic knowledge or have Arabic knowledge or Arabic knowledge before one can understand geomancy perfect to a very good extent, or before one can even learn geomancy, one must learn how to the Arabic something. That was my usual thought then. And because of that, that delayed the reason why I did not start learning geomancy on time, because I was thinking that I may not be able to know it very well. So until I now learn it, understand it, before I now realize that it is not necessary that you must understand Arabic or something, that it doesn't even have much to do with Arabic something, but some Islamic something are attached to it, because it is called Eastern geomancy, because geomancy come from the Eastern perspective. So some Islamic or Arabic culture are mixed to it. You understand? But it's not as if that you must understand Arabic or understand Islam before you can practice geomancy. No, that's nothing to do that. So that is one of the reasons why I want to debunk the myth about if a female person can practice geomancy or not. So if now let me even tell you a conclusion before I explain that. A female person can practice geomancy. That is just that. But it has with an explanation. But the thing is that the way a female person can practice a geomancy wrongly, illegal wrongly, is different from the patterns to which if a man or a male person can practice it. So it is different pattern, the same system but different patterns. And I will give you how their own usually look like, how a female geomancy chart usually, how they usually do their own. I'll give you a tips about it. So, but the same pattern. But let me cut the whole story short. Now, if the difference between the way a female person can practice geomancy, the difference between the two, from how a man or a female person cast or handle geomancy, is different from the way a man should handle it. But not all geomancer knows how to handle that. That is why many of them usually say that geomancy is not for female. It's not for female because they don't know how to handle the female part. They learn how to they learn and practice. Most of the geomancer you found out there, most of them learn they learn they learn male geomancy, and they are practice male geomancy. So they feel like it will be too dangerous to carry that or give it to a female, because they may mishandle it for one thing or the other, or misuse it for their selfish something or the other. So not knowing that what they are giving is male geomancy and should not be given to a female. But their own thinking is that they don't want to teach female person so that we won't be using it for something bad or something. That is their many of them. That is their many of them thinking. Whereas the main reason is that what they are practicing is for male. Now there are female geomancy as well, and I will tell you how to identify that. The same thing, the same system geomancy figure you are saying. But the thing is that what differentiates male geomancy from female geomancy is the method of seeking the Domir. Is the method of seeking the Domir. You understand? But what I'm about to say, some people usually do, some male person do that as well, but they don't know that what they are doing is female geomancy. Now, let me quickly tell you, there are different ways of bringing out Domiro, but two methods are very unique. Number one method is this: you count this house and you count all this figure, all this one. Let me just explain briefly, because this video is not for how to explain Domiro. It's just for you to understand how geomancy, female geomancy cast, how female geomancy chart is interpreted, and how male geomancy chart is being interpreted. Like I said, the difference is that how Domiro is being, one of the differences, not just the only difference. One of the differences is how Domiro is found. So let's say this chart is casted by a male person. and the person want to seek out the domino. The domino is like what the main, the central theme of the chart. So how do you count it? You count all this word, this active, the single dot, anyone with single dot. This one is a single dot, this one is double dot. You will not count it, you just count it one. You go to another place, this is another single dot, you count this one, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. You don't need to count the middle, just the head and the tails. You will count it. That is how a male person count war. And they will do some other things that and bring out the middle. But now let's say people that understand Eastern geomancy very well, they already understand what I'm saying. So now let's say it is a female geomancy that want to interpret this chart. You will not count this and not count the head and the tails. The female geomancy first of all goes to the judge, check the house 14, sorry, house 13 and house 14. Check if it is Nori or if it is Faridan or Saujan. If it is Faridan or Sauja, that will then determine if it should count the head and the tail or the middle on this one. Do you understand? It will first of all determine that that is how a female. But if you go outside very well, you will see some men still looking at house 13 and 14 before seeking out the word Domiro. Go and ask. There are people, but they don't know what they think that it's just another method of seeking out Domiro. They don't know that it has some significance, has some meaning, which is the reason why I'm trying to bring that explanation here. That whenever you have to look at house 13 and 14 before you take out word Domiro, what you are practicing is female geomancy. Even if you are a man. What you are practicing is female geomancy. What you are practicing is female geomancy. Whenever you have to look at house 13 and 14 before you seek out geomancy, what you are practicing is female geomancy. But if you don't have to look at house 13 and 14 before you bring out your domiro, it is male geomancy. Can you see that it's male geomancy? You understand? So we have the female, but these days men as well. Men look at house 13 before they look at domiro. Do you understand? But that is why now when you now see some female person now that they want to do geomancy, because some female person are now learning geomancy without looking at house 13, they will just be doing something. So like everybody just dabaru things, they are just mixing things together without following the proper standard. You understand? Without following the proper standard. But for knowledge sake, I'm just saying it for knowledge sake, we have female geomancy and male geomancy. If you want to teach a female geomancy, the standard or the proper way of teaching them is the domiro, that you have to check house 13 before you check you have to check house 13 before you seek out domiro. That is the kind of geomancy you should teach them if you want to follow standard and normal practice. But if you want to and if it is male, if it's the male geomancy, the one that you don't have to check house 13 and 14 before you seek the domino is what you teach them. Now, the consequence of doing the consequence of not following the standard is that once in a while you might be getting it wrongly because you are not following the standard. That is once in a while, but sometimes you might not even be getting it wrong once in a while. If you are the type that usually do sadako very well, you are the type that usually do sadako very well. You already do what I mean by sadako is offering. You only do offering very well. So whichever method you like, you practice, you always get it right, especially when you are moral upright. Especially when you are doing sadako very well and you are moral upright. Anyone you teach, if you like look at our thing before you cast, if you like look at anywhere, you always get if you are. But if you want to follow normal standard, normal something, there's what we call a male geomancy, and there's what we call a female geomancy. When you follow the standard, it will be difficult or be highly difficult for you to get it wrong, except you are committing some other errors. You understand? All things being equal, you always get it right. So I hope I'm able to make us understand one or two things in this video. So thank you for watching the video. May God bless you miraculously.